Decomposition of dead organisms is occurring constantly in the environment all around us.
When leaves fall or an animal dies, organisms in the soil work together to return their nutrients to the start of the food chain.
If it already takes place naturally, then why compost at all?
Composting is a way to speed up the rate of decomposition to make more soil in less time.
Soil is a limited resource. 75 billion tons of soil is lost each year to human mismanagement globally. We are literally throwing away the key to our own survival. To grow more food, we must first grow more soil.
Composting uneaten food waste and other biodegradable materials ensures that valuable nutrients are recycled to grow more food instead of being lost to landfills or incineration.
Composting also saves you money. Have you ever bought a bag of garden soil or fertilizer? It's expensive. Why not make your own fertilized garden soil for free?
How does composting work?
Decomposition is the work of two main groups of organisms.
Macro-decomposers like woodlice, beetles, millipedes, ants, and earthworms chew large pieces of organic matter into smaller pieces so that micro-decomposers, fungi, bacteria, and actinomycetes, can do the next step of releasing nutrients for plants.
Like all living things, decomposers need the right conditions and balanced nutrition. With a little bit of human help, we can create just the right conditions to speed up the decomposition process. So what do decomposers need to do their job efficiently?
Composting is a bit like baking a cake. Add the right ingredients in the right ratios, give it time to bake, and voila, you've got soil.
The recipe for compost is simple.
1 part green materials.
2 parts brown material.
A dash of garden soil or finished compost containing the spores of decomposer organisms.
Water. Moisture is important in just the right amounts. Not too much and not too little.
Oxygen. Decomposers need plenty of oxygen just like us. Poor airflow suffocates the good bacteria, leading to buildup of toxic, smelly gases and much slower rates of decomposition.
What are green materials?
Greens are usually green in color. They contain moisture and lots of nitrogen.
However, too much greens will make your pile slimy and smelly.
Here are some examples of things you can use as greens in your compost pile.
Leafy vegetable greens.
Rich with nitrogen.
Fruit scraps.
Eggshells.
Coffee grounds.
Hedge trimming.
Dog and human hair.
What are brown materials?
Browns are usually dry and brown in color. They contain high levels of carbon. Adding plenty of brown material to your pile helps with the airflow, drainage, and odor prevention.
Here are some examples of browns.
Dry leaves.
Banana leaves are rich in carbon.
Dry grass. Shredded brown paper bags. Cardboard tubes.
Animal bedding mixed with animal droppings.
Cardboard boxes! A ratio of approximately 2 parts brown material, 1 part green material provides the right balance for optimal decomposition.
So how do you build a compost pile?
Choose a sheltered location that gets sun and a bit of shade.
A barrier of cardboard on the ground stops weeds from growing into your pile. Some form of containment that allows good airflow is useful to keep your pile tidy and organized.
A first layer of coarse materials, such as woody stems and twigs, will allow excess water to drain away and prevent waterlogging.
Greens and browns are then added in thin, alternating layers, like lasagna.
Add a little water to every layer of browns. Add a sprinkle of soil to every layer of greens. Repeat these 4 layers, brown, water, green, soil, as many times as you can until you run out of material. Heat energy speeds up the decomposition process. The bigger your pile, the faster it will decompose as heat builds up from bacterial decomposition. You can always add more layers as you obtain more materials. Just be sure not to add too many greens in one layer. Greens should always be covered with a topping of browns. If your pile is in a very sunny location, you can cover it with something that provides a bit of shade to prevent overdrying.
A lasagna-style compost pile can generate finished soil in just 6 months if you leave it alone.
That's fast, but not fast enough. What can we do to speed things up?
Using a lawnmower, shredder, or wood chipper to reduce the particle size of your ingredients increases the surface area for bacterial action and cuts decomposition time.
Turning your pile with a pitchfork once a week mixes and aerates the ingredients to give finished soil in as little as 4 to 6 weeks.
Do you need to buy a fancy, expensive compost bin to get good compost?
Of course not. In fact, we recommend avoiding them.
A cylinder of chicken wire provides easy, inexpensive containment with great airflow. Wooden pallets are totally free, but choose the non-toxic ones.
The easiest solution is no container at all. A well-built pile can be freestanding.
You can even build compost directly over an area you plan to start a garden. This is called sheet mulching.
Many survey participants were concerned that the compost piles smell bad and attract pests.
This is only the case if you don't follow the recipe correctly.
Adding meat, dairy, processed or fatty foods is a sure way to attract rats, roaches, and houseflies, and create unpleasant smells.
Herbivore manure is fine, but carnivore feces can introduce harmful, odor-causing bacteria to your compost.
Adding too much green material, allowing your compost to become waterlogged, or the limiting of airflow are all things that can lead to the releasing of noxious gases or prevention of decomposition.
So, if you thought the answer to odor-free, pest-free compost was to seal it in an airtight container with some Febreze and bug spray, you were
Wrong! We hope this video will inspire many of you to try composting at home.
But even if it doesn't, there'll be more alternatives coming soon.
Go!
Stand by to hear about our composting action plan.